I move a bill for an act to amend the National Film and Video Censors Board Act, Cap N40, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to expand the functions and membership of the board to include representatives of the associations of theatre arts and indigenous languages film producers and practitioners respectively, for the purpose of promoting and protecting the indigenous Nigerian languages and culture from disservice by certain direct-to-home pay television schemes and for related matters. I so move. Chapter N40, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to expand the information and membership of the board to include representatives of the Association of Theatre Arts and Indigenous Languages film producers and practitioners respectively, for the purpose of promoting and protecting the indigenous Nigerian languages and culture from service by certain direct-to-home pay television schemes and related matters. Right Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues, I wish to express my gratitude to you for giving me the opportunity to present this bill to this Honorable House and seek your support to pass it for a second reading. Mr. Speaker and my respected honorable colleagues, you will recall that the first reading of this bill was on Tuesday, 26 September 2017 in this hallowed chamber. I am delighted to stand before you to lead the debate on the general principles of the bill for an act to amend the National Film and Censors Board Act, Chapter N40, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to expand the functions and membership of the board to include representatives of the associations of indigenous theatre arts and indigenous language film producers and practitioners respectively, for the purpose of promoting and protecting indigenous Nigerian languages and culture from disservice by certain direct-to-home pay television schemes and for related matters. In the current Act, membership of the Film and Video Censors Board is exclusively for representatives of the associations and representing English language film and video producers and practitioners. Nigeria has a thriving film industry, which over the last 2 decades has consistently received international commendation, an example of which is the accolades from the Toronto International Film Festival. Also, international news networks and publications regularly feature reports on Nollywood, and in one of the recent editions, Fortune magazine described it as the second largest movie industry in the world. From the 1970s, Nigeria's motion picture industry has grown into a globally recognized phenomenon which has seen our cultural creativity explode on the cinema and online platforms. While our local artists have received awards on the international stage, in terms of employment generation and creation of jobs, the sector employs over 1 million people, directly and indirectly. The creative industry promotes and drives local and regional tourism, as well as attracts interest in rural areas, cities, tradition, culture, norms, and values. Honorable colleagues, the industry, according to available figures by PricewaterhouseCoopers, Nigeria in its Entertainment and Media Outlook spotlight on the Nigerian film industry in July 2017, is quoted as saying that the industry consistently produces 2,000 titles every year in Nigeria's 3 major languages, and it is a significant part of the arts, entertainment, and recreation sector, which contributed 2.3%, approximately 239 billion naira, to Nigeria's gross domestic product in 2016. As a consequence of indigenous content, Nollywood serves as a channel to promote our rich cultural diversity and nuances. recreate socio-political storylines, cultural practices that are relevant to everyday situations. The high level of productivity can further birth a pool of creative talent, a broad skills base, and create a high demand for Nigerian films in Africa, Europe, Asia, and the Americas, which in the long run will create a steady revenue stream for the federal government. Finally, the objectives, Right Honorable Speaker, my distinguished colleagues. For Nigerian languages to survive, there has to be a sustained increase in production of films in indigenous languages. Cinema is an integral part of national development, and it is no longer news that our moral and cultural values are under invasion from Western cultures and ideologies. As far back as 1989, Dr. Augustine Enharo, in a study titled Filmmakers and Filmmaking in Nigeria, Problems and Prospects, noted that we must think of cinema in terms of history and culture. The cinema must be dealt with reality and must not help to perpetuate exploitation and deepen the misery of our people. 2 decades on from this study, Nigeria still experiences painful deficits in the industry. This piece of legislation intends to show that we need to pay more attention and continue to seek veritable ways to preserve the great heritage of Nigerians through our film industry, and to realize that the invasion of foreign cultures can be effectively countered through the use of indigenous films and videos. This is precisely what this amendment intends to address. The justification: this amended bill is aimed at protecting our culture as well as the producers, marketers, and filmmakers from an imminent decline of their creative work in indigenous languages. This in turn will lead to sharpening the instrumentality of language as a preserver of cultural heritage. The amended bill will ensure that the importance of Nigeria's indigenous languages for communications content as a unifying factor for mobility and for intellectual understanding will not be overlooked or eroded. It will also ensure the preservation of our languages and heritage within the creative and intellectual sphere, encourage the growth of film locations and providing income and recreation for rural communities. The significance of this is also that the amended bill will preserve our native rural harmony. It will promote Nigeria's domestic creative arts industry and give traction to our cultural values. It will also tell our stories to the world through films and TV drama series, generate employment, create jobs, and ensure the survival and productivity of indigenous filmmakers, stimulate our mother tongue skills, and drive the vision to transform Nigeria's film industry from a creative industry to a creative economy. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I urge you all to support the speedy passage of this important bill for the protection of our cultural heritage as well as for creativity and preservation of the livelihoods of our indigenous filmmakers in the overall interest of the economy and the nation. Thank you. I so move.
I spent the whole time. The caution is that bill be now read a second time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Clerks invited to read the long title of the bill.
Members, a bill for an act to amend the National Film and Video Censors Board Act, Cap-N 40, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to expand the functions and membership of the board to include representatives of associations of theater arts and indigenous languages film producers and practitioners respectively, for the purposes of promoting and protecting the indigenous Nigerian languages and culture from disservice by certain direct to home pay TV schemes and for related matters. Second reading.